Hey everybody, it's Chris here at It's MeaD, and today I am going to be unboxing my new Ender 3 from Creality. Before we get started, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification icon, and that way you can get all of the updates that I put out, all the videos. First, a couple things. I actually won this 3D printer, which I was super excited about. Filament Hub had a giveaway on Instagram. They're a new company. They're a new filament company, and they're going to be coming out pretty soon. And they had a giveaway, and I entered in it on Instagram and won this, and they sent it to me. I was kind of shocked that, you know, it was a giveaway for a 3D printer and I won it. And I'm also really excited because I don't have an Ender 3. I have two Ender 3 Pros and a CR-10, but not just a plain old Ender 3. So I can't wait to actually get this and start doing some modifications on it and stuff like that. So here we go. Let's start unboxing this guy. So I will kind of just go through everything and one by one and show you everything that comes in this thing. I'm going to be making another video that is going to show you how to put this thing together from start to finish. So here we go. All right. So they have some awesome foam here, and I know this locks stuff in place. Yep, see? Throw that aside. Okay, and here it is. Any questions? Just kidding. All right, so this is just your packet. This gives you a little information about it, and it's the quality check in there. So put that to the side. Here is the bed. So I'm gonna just take one little thing out at a time here. So this is the control panel, because there is quite a bit of assembly that goes along with this. We got a little static-free cling bag here. Set that aside. We got our bridge rods. Got our power bank over here. Let's see if I can grab it out of here. This is a very compact box. There we go. Power bank, and this is going to be an important thing to switch it if you are in the US. But yep, here we go. Okay, then we have our stepper motors. This is actually your extruder motor, and this is, I do believe, your X axis. It goes up and down, or up and down, so you can see it. But yeah, set that aside. And this is the tricky part. There is something connected in here. You got to take this out and watch your wiring. You want to be careful about this, because it can actually get caught underneath here on the wheels. Okay, and that's your filament and hot end, or filament hot end, and your Bowden tube. And here we go. Set this over here. Be careful with this guy because the bed does move. I learned that the first printer I brought out. So this is that part. Take that out. And more stuff. This is your spool holder. It'll screw onto a bracket in here. It's actually right here. So this actually screws onto there, and you mount that. Set that aside. Then some extra pieces and parts. Some extra nozzle, an extra nozzle, and this is for your Bowden tubes. And a little bit of filament. Just enough to do a test, really. And you also have your tensioner. I think it's your X belt tensioner right there. Okay. Then you've got all of the actual hardware, your bolts and Allen wrenches and stuff like that. I'll get into that in a minute. This is your Z stepper motor. Set this aside. Universal power supply cord. Set that over there. And this is your bearings that you ride on one of the rails. And more bridge rods. Okay. And lastly, your scraper. These scrapers are okay. I actually have an older scraper that I like a lot better because these are a little flimsy. I've actually broken the handle on one of them, but yeah, still good to have. And I think that's it. Yes, that is it. So let's open those other bags. Let's move this out of the way. Oops, just bumped the camera. Oh well. Okay, so here we go. How about I lay all this stuff out for you and let you see this? So let's speed this up. Alright, so this is everything that comes in the box that's laid out. Let me just go through some of these things because I've already explained what a lot of this stuff is. So like these are your actual rods that you will set on here. One thing to note that I honestly forgot about is inside here you will actually see these. This, and this is your Z rod, and you want to keep this in its sleeve until you install it because you don't want to ding this up in any way. But okay, these are all of your nuts and bolts that you're going to want. The nice thing about it is you will actually have instructions in here. Let me open this bag up. This right here. This is very important to have. And this is your instructions on everything you're supposed to have. So you want to verify. I know this is something I do because I've been burned multiple times. Is I'll actually go through and double check that I have everything. So like this piece, the power supply right there, you know. So like just go through and make sure you have everything before you get started. Very important. But this will actually tell you how to set up everything. But I'm also going to make a video that is going to go step by step and explain the process of how to put all of this together and create a printer. Because it looks scary, but it's honestly pretty easy as long as you follow step by step. The first time I put my Ender 3 Pro together, I just followed this, and it took me, honestly, a long time to figure it out. Then I watched a YouTube video, and my second Ender 3 Pro, I put it together in like 20 minutes or something like that. And my CR-10 took even less, because all the Crealities kind of go together the same way, which is really cool. Okay, so the one thing to note is you'll see on every one of these little bags, it actually says, here, let me see if you can see right there. It actually says like what it is. So it's like an M5-8. So it's 8 millimeters long, and it's the M5, thickness. So that way, in the instructions, it'll tell you this is, use this bolt, and that's what you want to do. It's important to keep these baggies, only take out the bolts you need, because trust me, they'll start to get mixed up, and you got to figure out which one's which. But yeah, you have your T-nuts in here. You also have your Ender 3 English card reader and SD card. So I'll just get this out of there. This is nice. If you don't have a card reader, the card reader is pretty decent. But I'm not going to lie to you. Their SD cards are known to give some issues. I'll use them, and then if I have any issues whatsoever, I'll just throw it away and get a better one. I usually use a SanDisk. I had some problems early on when I was getting into my Ender 3s, and I could not figure it out, and luckily some Facebook message boards and some people on Instagram helped me out and let me know that with these SD cards are sometimes junk. But on the other hand, I have had some that work out great. But that is just something to note. So if you start having issues with prints and things like that, check your SD card first, because I've gone through a couple SD cards, and the few that I've gone through is honestly the ones that came with the printer. So just be careful with that. All right, so you got this. These are all your tools that it comes with, which is really nice. I strongly recommend you keep this bag or actually 3D print something to store them in, because now that you have a 3D printer, you can actually do that kind of thing. Here, let me show you. I actually 3D printed this. I know it looks weird, but it actually clips right on the side of this. It clips right on the side, so it works out really well. I am actually going to make a video on just all my modifications. I actually have an older video that shows a time lapse of me building this, and it gives you a link of where it's at on Thingiverse. But it is very handy to keep these on hand, because you're going to find that when you have it assembled that you're going to have to tension your belts and things like that periodically, or you might have a clog or something like that. So, tools, very important. An extra nozzle, which is fantastic because nozzles is a wearable item. They do go out. It takes a while for them to go out unless you're using different specialty filaments, because specialty filaments like wood filaments or any other like stone looking ones that's got like some grit inside it and things, that will destroy a nozzle quick. It's not like you use a spool and it's going to destroy it, but it'll wear it down a lot faster. So it's nice that they give you another nozzle. And then the inside here is for your Bowden tubes. This is extras that clip on. So those actually mount here, and you have an extra one, which is nice because your Bowden tube goes into here. But yeah, that's a nice thing to have, is extras of those. A little bit of filament to get you started, just to test out to one of the print on the SD card. There's some test files, and you can actually, do your first print, like make a little dog or benchy or something. The other thing is, it's got zip ties in there. That's very important. You want to actually have your zip ties because you got to get your cables working well, like right here. So if you ever have to clip these off, you can put more on. The other thing is this weird little thing right here, this big needle. When I first got mine, I did not know what this was. Be very careful with it. Do not bend it. Put this somewhere safe. I actually have mine stored in my little holder, but this will actually get clogs out of your nozzle. You actually there's a certain way you do it, but this will actually fit in your nozzle hole and to remove clogs. So I just kind of always keep that shoved in there. I have ruined these because I've gotten some pretty bad clogs and had to replace the nozzles. But luckily every 3D printer I've bought has come with one of these, and I just keep using the same one for all the printers because it's all the same nozzle size. So that's that. You've got all of your bracketing, your stepper motors, and lastly is this guy. So be careful, it is sharp. You can hurt yourself and stab your hand, and it hurts and you bleed, trust me. So this is a nice little snipper. I love these snippers. I actually bought another snipper at Hobby Lobby. You might want to consider for bigger projects. So this is the same exact thing. It's just a little bit bigger, but it's very sharp. You can actually snip your filaments with this, or remove supports. That is an amazing thing to have. These things are great. And that's it. So that's everything that comes in your Ender 3. And the Ender 3 Pro, it's pretty similar. And you've got your belt, your X belt. So, and I'm pretty sure it's X. It might be Y. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah. So be sure to check my other video that I'm making that is going to show you how to put all of this together and then go through the process of your first print, because it's really exciting, especially if this is your first 3D printer. I've been 3D printing for over 6 years now, actually now 7, and it's amazing of just seeing how something this cheap, especially for me since this was free, but you know, the $180 price range is amazing for a 3D printer, because when I first got into them it was around $1,500. But yeah, and that's US. But I hope you have enjoyed watching this, just to see what you're going to be getting or what you already have. And feel free to subscribe to me if you guys have any questions. Jump on Instagram and feel free to reach out to me. I'm very active on there, and I'm always up to talking to people. Or you can just leave a comment below and I can answer any questions you have. All right, thanks a lot and have a great day.